What's going on YouTube? Jose here. I am back to give you a quick update. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. Anyways, 2016 Camaro, 4,500 miles since I've purchased the vehicle, and just wanted to give you a quick update on how the car is doing. All right, let's go inside. Let's start with the interior first. All right, it's still holding up pretty good. Just a quick little tour here. Still clean. So one of the things I'm going to start by pointing out with is, of course, after 4,500 miles, it is the rattles. It appears to be coming, and yeah, I've removed this, of course. That's just a little air freshener that I keep in there. But it appears that this little ring, either they're not seated on there properly, or maybe the glue that they use. I'm not sure how it's attached. I haven't taken it off, but anyways, this tends to rattle a little bit. Also, the door panels right here, and I'm thinking if you go to an audio shop, they may be able to put some 3M stuff on there and quiet it down a little bit. But the door cards right around this area, if you push with your elbows as you're actually driving around, it'll stop making the vibrations or you know, whatever noise it's making, but it definitely rattles. And that's about all I can think of as far as the interior, you know, for what it is. I know, you know, you don't buy a Camaro to be Lexus quality or build quality and not make any squeaks or sounds, and believe it or not, even the high-end cars tend to rattle and squeak. So that's all I can think of for rattling on the inside. Some of the things that, if we go inside here, let's go ahead and crank it up so you guys can hear a little sound. So that's the OEM exhaust. Sounds pretty good. Let me close this door here real quick. All right, so we talked about the rattles a little bit, like I pointed out. This little vent right here seems to be one of them. The door card. So, you know, it's just something for Chevrolet to think about. If you're gonna put a high-end sound system or something that's gonna romp pretty good, like the Bose system that comes with the car, you know, or that you can opt out for, you know, it's probably a good thing to think about maybe adding some better fasteners or glue or whatever you use to put the door cards in place, right? So that may be a good idea. Some of the things that I've noticed, for example, this is an easy fix, but this screen right here is loose. Now, if you pop this little cover, you can actually tighten the little bolts that are on there, and that seems to fix the problem. So this will cause some of that rattling for sure. Another thing that I've noticed, which is kind of bizarre, is, you know, and there's a couple of threads on Camaro6.com on the 6th Gen forums that talk about some of the little issues, like the screen. I haven't had that problem yet, but it is sometimes, and not always, very slow to come on. I mean, it's like if you're booting up a Pentium 1 from, you know, back in the 90s, it takes forever to come on. But once it's up and running, as always, continues to be pretty responsive. I do love the CarPlay. That's one of my favorite features. Again, you can go into settings and customize a lot of things. There's plenty of videos out there that talks about, you know, some of the custom settings you can do in here, like driving modes, which is very cool, where you can control the sound management. Again, that's not standard on every Camaro. That's going to be part of some of the packages, like the dual mode exhaust, like the magnetic ride suspension, and some of the other features that are on the vehicle itself. If we go over to our center gauge here under the performance pages, you've got the little cool G meters, you've got the 0 to 60 some of the times that you can test out. To be honest with you, I've never been able to get anything better than like a 4.6, 4.7, and I'm not sure if it's the tires. It has gotten a little bit colder, so I am getting more wheel spin on first and second than I did when I first got the car, and it was summertime. And as you can tell, I've got the A10 automatic suspension, or not, yeah, A10, I wish, that's the ZL1. I've got the A8, so sorry about that. Another thing I wanted to point out that I see a lot of threads about on the forums is a phone mount. So I've got the Koomus, I think it is Koomus. I'll put a link down below for it. And I gotta tell you, man, this is like one of my favorite ones. Not only is it on there pretty good, like this thing's not gonna come off anytime soon, but if you put the little magnetic plates in the back, you know, that you can buy a bunch of different kinds. I've got the iPhone 7 Plus, so it's pretty heavy. And you stick that thing on there, it doesn't matter how hard I drive, it does not move. It is not going anywhere. So I highly recommend that mount. I have seen some side mounts that people are putting in here, of course on the glass. I don't like putting stuff on the glass just because it always leaves that nasty, and after time it seems like they fall off. So I think this is a good spot to mount this Koomus mount here, which uses a little bit of glue and suction, and just flat if you like to. And then I run my little lightning cable right through here, and it works pretty good. So very easy to use. So that's you know, for 4,500 miles, it's been pretty quiet. I can't say you know, I can complain about too much, other than the rattles, other than a couple of minor things here and there with the screen. There's really not a whole lot on the inside of the car. On the outside, there are some things that I'm concerned about, which of course is the recall. I haven't had a chance to take it in. You know, that's going to be all fixed under warranty, so no big deal there. That's the one where the fitting for the transmission cooler seems to rub on a bolt that's too long from what I read, and all they do is I think they change the fitting if they have to, and they cut off the extra I guess length on that bolt itself. So pretty easy fix. I need to go do that as soon as possible. Another thing that I've noticed, I've got the dual mode exhaust. I've noticed that I get a little bit of rattle back there, which is really weird. It seems to be under, you know, 30-40 miles per hour, just shifting normally. You know, I typically keep this thing in sport mode. I don't use the touring mode very often, just because I like the combination of the suspension settings, the steering, and the exhaust note. But that is one thing I've noticed coming from the outside. Again, when I go in for the recall, I would let the service guys know if they can take a look at what that vibration, rattling noise could be coming. I think it's the exhaust, but it could just be a heat shield or something else back there. But other than that, guys, it's been a phenomenal car. I still love driving this thing every single day. I highly recommend it. I have no regrets going from my Mustang, which I do love. I still love Mustangs. You know, I still do a double take when one passes by. Maybe a little part of me on the inside misses my my performance package 5.0. But other than that, guys, you know, I highly recommend the vehicle. It drives like no other Camaro, especially if you've owned one before. Like no other Camaro I've ever driven, and any other car for that matter. It is just a superb car. You know, Chevy has done a tremendous job, and you know, if you think about all the races that Chevy has won with the Corvette, with some of the other cars they use in GT, they just have so much knowledge when it comes to racing now. They are pretty legit. They're actually doing and eating their own dog food, right? And that translates into cars, and you can tell the way these cars handle, the way they brake, you know, the styling, all that comes from that racing heritage that you know, Chevy can claim for the last 10 to 15 years, where they've been extremely competitive, if not one of the best. Anyways, still love the car, still running great, still holding up really well. Hope everybody has a happy holidays. Whatever it is you celebrate, I hope you have fun with friends and family. And if you're by yourself, then comment below and I'll comment back, and we'll hang out through the comments. Anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and take care. See you next year.